So we talk about self-discovery, vision, passion, purpose, profitable association, self-discipline, initiative, priority. There are many, but I think we'll be able to look at few of these today. So when I talk about self-discovery, let me start from self-discovery. Self-discovery of your inherent leadership potential is the key to an understanding of whom you are meant to be, and is the power that will bring you to fulfilling your purpose for existence as a leader. Self-discovery. See, the original intent in the heart of your maker, in the heart of God, for creating you, regardless of whom you are, whether you are a man or woman, black or white, from any region of the earth, the original intent in the heart of God for making you, you cannot assess that intent except you discover yourself.
Mm.
Now, let me share with you shortly. A story has been told of a young lion living among sheep. I want to bring this story to interpret what real self-discovery is before you can become a leader. There is a farmer, there is a shepherd having a lot of sheep, and he used to take his sheep every day out for grazing. And one day he was going into the field for grazing from his farmland, and they got to a place where the sheep were grazing. He climbed up a dry tree with a leaflet tree where he can stay to see as very far away where the sheep are in the bush. And as he was on top of that tree, his sheep were inside the farmland. They were eating and they were grazing and they were going everywhere. And he saw a very small animal very far among the sheep. Then he came down. He went closer to look at it. It was a lion cub. A lion cub is a baby lion. So helpless, very little. It's like the mother has left the baby lion there, and the farmer left also with his sheep. On his return in the evening back to his farmland, the baby lion was still lying down. That lion cub was still lying there helplessly. But every shepherd has a heart of a father, a heart of because you see shepherds sometimes when their animals they are not okay, they carry them on the shoulder, they back them and all that. That mind was in him and he carried the baby lion so as to help and survive the baby lion. He took the baby lion to his farmland, and he began to feed that baby lion with milk and with water, the same kind of food that he gives to his sheep. And the baby lion was taking meat. He was nourishing the baby lion for milk for about 8 weeks. He was eating the same food with the sheep, and he was growing with the milk. And when the meat started bleating meh, he also bleat meh. Although the original nature of the creature there is a lion,
Mm.
but it was bleating like a sheep. Who will tell me why it's bleating like a sheep? He was feeding with sheep. He was living in an environment of sheep. Well, the habitat of sheep was its own habitat, and its nature has been changed to be a sheep nature. And the baby lion keep growing in the farmland until it become very strong. And one day the shepherd was going out with his sheep, and the baby lion began to go move with other sheep. That they were all living together, eating together, drinking together, and they were moving together. And as they went into the farmland, the shepherd still climbed a leafless tree, and he was watching from afar. And there was a roaring of a heavy noise from the riverside. And all the sheep, they run for safety as they were going to the farmland, and all of them, they were running. But the shepherd, before he came down, he discovered that one of his sheep was taken by a mother lion, very big lion that roars out of the bush. And he discovered that danger has entered this side of this forest. As the sheep were running with the fear of the big beast that was coming out, the lion also was running along with the sheep. They all ran into a safe land and they all went there. The shepherd waited for a week and he came out again. And as he was moving towards that side, he climbed up The baby lion was going to the place where they drink water by the river. And immediately he stepped inside the river. The shadow that he saw that day, he saw the shadow of himself and started running. The lion was not coming, but he grew up as a sheep. But his nature as a lion, his upbringing, everything about him, his picture, his shadow, everything about him was lion, but he was living like a sheep. So as he stepped inside the water, he saw the shadow of himself, and he thought the reflection of his own shadow upon the water
mm,
brought back the mind of the beast he saw that day. They were all running, and he started running. Other sheep, they were not running, and he came back. Another day came, they went out. And as they were going to drink water, the mother lion appeared that day with a roaring of heavy noise in the forest, and all the sheep, they ran. When this lion was about to run, he never knew that the mother lion was almost there to grab a sheep. And it was the lion. You know, lion doesn't eat lion. And the mother lion stood, and the young lion stood as well. He couldn't go back. He couldn't move, terrified to a point as if he wanted to die, because the mother lion has blocked the path. And he look at the mother lion, he look at himself. And the mother lion look at this baby lion. And the mother lion look at the face of this one, he roar. This one could not know anything to do against, like he was trying to say whatever he can say because he want to be safe. He tried to roar also, but he's a bleating man. Why? Because I've been fed with the food of the sheep for a very long time. He never discovered that he is the lion, the master of the jungles, which he is. The mother lion kept growling at this small lion, and this small lion was trying. It's like the mother lion was saying, "You are part of me. Say
mm,
what I'm saying. Say what I'm saying. Say what I'm saying." And the entire forest begin to roar with heavy sounds until the baby lion begin to roar a little and a little, and the mother lion turned back and paused again. It is a point of decision. The baby lion discovered that I don't belong to the sheep. I belong to this heavy animal. Will I go back to the safe farmland, or I should step into the jungle, the unpredictable place, the place of terror? That was the decision. And the mother lion stood by as it paused, and it turned, and the baby lion followed. It was an invitation of the body of lion to discover itself from the midst of sheep. It was a point of decision to turn from the safe farmland where dictates of the irrelevance will control life, and step into a place where passion will make you to find a purpose, not only to live for, but even if it takes dying, you die for it. As I go through the message on that, I discovered that leadership discovery, self-discovery is attached to it. There are many people that are supposed to be leaders, but they've not discovered themselves. That's why Miles Muro wrote a book on leadership. He said the richest place on the surface of the earth planet is not the gold mine of Ghana, it's not the oil field of Nigeria, it's not the best place we thought, but the graveyard. Because in the graveyard is so many books that are not written, is so many songs that are not sung, is so many leaders that are supposed to turn country around, but they were buried. They've not discovered themselves. They've never caught up with the fire of passion. They've not stepped out. They've not tried whatever they want to try. They were there. Those things that were inside of them until they died. So self-discovery is the first key to leadership with testimony. It's the first key to leadership with victory. It's the first key to leadership with success. Just the way that this baby lion discovered itself. Wherever we are in life, we can take a step to discover ourselves. Until we discover ourselves, we cannot take the first step into leadership challenges. Until self is discovered. Self-discovery is number one. We are created with a lot of packages for God. Until we discover what God has put in us, we will not be able to become what God wants us to be. So we must aim at whatever we can do to discover ourselves. We must do all that is necessary. We must activate the God in us. We must empower ourselves in all the ways we need to be empowered so as to discover ourselves and become what God wants us to be. That is for self-discovery. We talk about self-discovery. For you to discover yourself, there is something that God has planted in you that you need to exhibit, that you need to empower, that you need to stand up. There is no one that is a born mistake. There is a gift inside of every man. That is why the Bible said the gift of a man make it to stand before kings. There is something in you that will introduce you. There is something in you that will take you to the global world. Something in you that will make you a success. There is no one that is a born mistake. God has put inside of every one of us something that will make us a success, something that will make us to answer a question in life. There are questions in life. Every one of us is born to answer a question in life. Every one of us is born to answer a question, is born to be a solution to a particular challenge in life. But until we discover ourselves, there is a scenario of a man grew up to 75 years old. He was working in another field as he was directed. Continuously, he was helping people, doing all that, but he was not satisfied. The one thing about life, until you have discovered yourself, you are not satisfied, you don't have joy. When you are doing another thing that God has not called you to do, you may succeed in this maybe by mechanical training, but you will not be happy doing it. A man, 75 years old, he was about to die. He grew very old. His strength become weakened. And one day he jumped inside the river. And the young man, the swimmer that was by the right side of the sea, jumped along with him and started rescuing this old man. This old man refused to come out. The young man with his strength dragged the old man out of the river. And the old man said, "My son, you are the cause of my pain. Why didn't you allow me to die?" And the young man said, "Father, why could I allow you to die? You jump inside the river. What's your problem? I know you for more than 20 years now. You are a successful businessman." He said, "I have done everything to satisfy every man on earth, but I'm not satisfied. Everybody know me, but I did not know myself. My son, don't be like others. Try to be yourself." And this question leads us to self-discovery. Who are you? Have you ever tried to ask yourself one day, why am I born into this family? What was I born to do? Why did God give me the grace to become born again? What did God want me to do? Why am I different from other people? What is my potential? Where am I going after here? Why did I come to this planet Earth? Have you ever taken time to ask that questions? Self-discovery. You are not too old to resume your gift. You are not too old to find out what your gift is. Look at Moses. Moses spent 40 years in Egypt. He has not started his journey. It was when he was 80 years that he started his leadership. 40 years, there is passion in him. He discovered that there is something that God has planted in him to be a leader. The book of Hebrews said, by faith, he was born as a proper child. The word proper child means God has a purpose for giving him into Egypt. He had that passion. He discovered himself. Even at the age 40, he has not started. So no matter what your age, anytime you discover yourself, God can activate that thing in you. It was the age of 80 he started. At age 40, he was too young. He had the passion. He wanted to go. But even every leader must be trained before they go. Until you are trained, you will misbehave. Moses, at the age of 40, had that passion. The burden was so much in him. He went into the field. He saw the Egyptians dealing with the Hebrews. He took his rod and killed an Egyptian. He thought he can kill by power. He thought he can kill. As far as Moses is concerned, the book of Acts of Apostles chapter 7 says he was educated in all the science of Egypt. He was the best educated person. You could imagine a son of the king. As far as Moses is concerned, he has power in the palace, political power. Moses, as at that age, if he called the cook of the palace that day and said, "Today I'm not hungry to eat anything, it's only the liver of a cow," they will kill a cow because of only Moses to trace where the liver is. He has power. But because he was not trained, a small boy asking, who made you a judge and a leader over us? Moses did not have answer to it because he was not trained. Until you are trained, don't be in a haste. If you discover the leadership in you, submit yourself to be developed. Because if you are not developed, you cannot go far. Moses listened to the question, who made you a judge and a leader? If that small boy would have asked him, what made you? Moses will say, I have certificate. I have power from the, I am qualified. I am the most qualified person. But the question is who? Every leader is made by somebody. Every leader is made by God. Every leader is trained by somebody. That is when I see in Africa, many pastors, when you ask them, who is your mentor? They don't have mentor. Well, let us watch how far you go. So, you discover yourself. You program yourself. You discover your talent. You resume your talent. The gate of a man determines his ability. The discovery of a man determines the capacity of the fulfillment in ministry. Until you discover yourself, existence has no meaning. Existence has no meaning. I talk about self-discovery. I talk about vision. As those things that we need to find, the trait you need to see in a leader.